One sector that saw considerable hype and growth between 2021 and 2024 was defense, with stocks like HAL soaring high and becoming investor darlings. But with market dynamics evolving and the bull run appearing to slow, one pressing question is, has the defense theme played out, or is it still worth considering it in 2025? More specifically, what's really going on with HAL? In today's video, we'll try to answer questions like, is there a problem with HAL's order book, or is it the Q3 results? What went wrong with HAL's execution? Is the budget allocation a key factor behind HAL's decline, and what are the critical indicators to watch for in the future? If you want to know the answers to all these questions, keep on watching the video till the end. Hey folks, Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very important video which is about what's wrong with HAL. But before we dig down into answering these questions, we are going to first try and understand what does the company do. Well, everyone knows that it's a public sector enterprise and it is into manufacturing of aircrafts, of helicopters. We know these basics. But if I want to know a little bit more, what does the company do? It's engaged in the design. So first of all, they'll design. After that, what will they do? They'll develop and manufacture. Okay, so first point is design, then they'll develop, they'll manufacture. What examples I told you? Aircrafts, helicopters, whatever. Once it is done, of course, what will be required? Repairs and servicing. That is also what the company does. And in addition to that, they also overhaul and upgrade these products. So overhaul means what? If there is a major change that is to be done, that is also done by this company. Okay, but what do they manufacture? Is it only aircrafts and helicopters? No. Other than this, they also manufacture aero engines, avionics, accessories, and also aerospace structures. Now, while doing all these things, a lot of research and development will be required, right? So for that, they rely on two things. Possibility number one, it is indigenous research, and possibility number two, they could also enter into technology transfer related license agreements. Now, with this as a basic understanding, first let's understand what is the revenue split for the company. And for that, have a look at this. Oh, this is something which is interesting. Many people feel that a maximum revenue that the company would generate would be because of sale of aircrafts and helicopters, but that's not the case. Majority revenue, almost 47%, is received by the company by doing repair work and overhaul work of helicopters. Spares contribute to around 20%. Finished goods, be it sale of aircrafts and helicopters, again around 19%, and balance. So I hope you have understood what does the company do and also what is the revenue mix. In the immediate next section, we'll try and understand the problem area number one. Is it the order book or is it Q3 results? Before moving on, an important announcement. CA Rachana Ranade presents Har Ghar Investor. I made this event live yesterday, less than 24 hours, and it's already filling fast. If you hit book and if you select the number of seats, you'll see that it's more than 50% booked. And this is the situation as at Saturday. This is my effort wherein I really intend to make everyone aware on multiple topics, something like how can you achieve your long term goals through stocks and mutual funds. We are also going to discuss about the current market scenario and how to navigate through these ups and downs. I'm going to talk about my nifty target of 2027, and most importantly, because this is a women's day special, I'm going to have a separate segment wherein we are going to focus on how women can start their investing journey. I hope this event will be an important step in making our dream of Har Ghar Investor turn into reality. So I would request anyone and everyone who is in and around Pune to attend this event. I can assure you that it's going to be fun. You will love attending this event. So please don't forget to check out the links in the description box and in the pinned comment. See you soon. Now let's try and understand whether order book is a problem for the company or not. In fact, recently in Bengaluru, in February 2025, an event took place which was called as the Aero India event. And in that, the chairman and managing director of the company, Mr. D.K. Sunil sir, he said that we are expecting that we would finalize orders worth 1.2 lakh crore rupees in the next 5 to 6 months. And if that happens, our total order book would be around 2.5 lakh crore rupees. Wow, 2.5 trillion rupees order book is what he's expecting to total up to in the next 5 to 6 months. Now, if that happens, what would be the revenue to order book ratio? The order book would be around 8x. To be precise, it's 7.8x the trailing 12 months ka turnover. And is that a good one? Ideally, yes. He had also mentioned in that event that we expect the production time to be around 5 to 6 years. So if you ask me, my personal thought process on this, I don't think that this order book is less. 7.8x TTM of revenue, that's not a lower size of order book. I don't think that's a big problem for HL. Then is Q3 a problem? Let's at least check key matrices, and for that have a look at this. Now if you see sales, YOY growth, I'm comparing FY25 Q3 versus Q3 FY24, and if you see sales growth, it's almost 15%. EBITDA growth is almost 17%. PAT growth again is almost 14%. So if you ask me, Q3 FY25 results are also not bad. But then where exactly is the problem? That's what we are going to understand in the next section of the video. Now let's understand the biggest pain point for HAL according to me. It is the delivery related issues of Tejas Mark 1A jets. Now for those who don't know what is Tejas LCA, it's light combat aircraft. And this is a very modern lightweight fighter jet, and it has been developed by HAL. Okay. Now what is this Mark 1, Mark 1A? These, so you can imagine Tejas is the main jet, and in that you will have advancements like iPhone 7, 8, 9, 10, then Pro Max, whatever. So something like that. But it will be like Tejas LCA. Then you will have Mark 1, Mark 1A, Mark 2. These will be the technological advancements in these fighter jets. Okay. Now, what had happened back in 2021 was that Indian Air Force had signed a 48,000 crore worth deal with HAL for 83 Tejas Mark 1A fighter jets, and the first aircraft out of these 83 aircrafts was to be delivered on 31st March 2024. As I shoot the video, today is 1st March 2025, and the first aircraft has still not been delivered. I'm sure you might have felt very bad after listening to this, and in fact, it's not only you and me who felt bad. The air chief who was there at the same Bengaluru event which I referred to some minutes ago, at that event, he publicly criticized HAL. He mentioned that HAL is not working with urgency, they are not on a mission mode. And at this point, he mentioned that I have no confidence with HAL. Maza nahi aa raha hai, is what he mentioned. I'm sure, I mean, it's very disheartening to see that HAL was not able to deliver on whatever they had promised. In fact, he also mentioned, air chief also mentioned, that he understands that it is about the engine related issues, but still he says what we expect is the delivery of aircrafts. What can be done is HAL's problem. Now what is this engine related problem is what we will understand. But before that, he said it's not only about these Mark 1A Tejas aircrafts or Tejas jets. He said that back in 2010, we had ordered for 40 Tejas Mark 1 jets, and out of those 40, even today, 4 are still pending. Now, I'm sure after all these points, like you and me felt bad, it's not only about feeling bad, it's about taking action. And what action was taken? A high level committee was immediately constituted to address these delays in production and in induction of India's light combat aircraft Mark 1, Mark 1A. And a 1 month deadline has been given to this committee to submit a report on where the problem lies and how could that be solved. In fact, sources have also mentioned that they will also review, they'll also explore ways to enhance private sector participation in what? Aircraft manufacturing, so that the deliveries can be expedited. Now, why even are they considering private sector if it is being done so? Because they said that it's not only about Mark 1, it's Mark 1A, Mark 2 that they are also expecting. So all these things require fast execution, and for that, that could be the reason why even private sector is being explored in this. Now, do you think that HAL is just going to keep quiet on this? Of course not. HAL very quickly responded to this, and they said that it's not a lack of effort on our side. We are genuinely facing some technical issues and we are sorting them out. They said that the main problem lies with the engine supply. Now, I'll tell you what is this engine supply all about. See, the entire aircraft body is made by HAL, but the engine is imported from a different country, and that is supplied by a company called GE. Now they said the whole aircraft is ready, but we have not yet received the engine from GE. Unless and until we receive the engine, how can we deliver the aircraft? But acha, for those who feel, then what are you saying that the whole aircraft is being made by HL? Are main engine ही नहीं है. Please understand that making the whole body of aircraft is also very tricky. It's not so easy. So making the whole aircraft is also a big achievement in itself, but the main statement also remains a fact that engine still we are not making, it's being imported from GE. Now what HL mentioned, HL CMD, what he mentioned is that yes, we have had a word with GE. They have assured us that they will deliver 12 engines in this year itself, and if that be so, we'll be able to deliver the Mark 1A jets by 31 2031 32. So I hope you have understood that where the key problem lies. Key problem lies with the delivery of HL Tejas aircrafts, Tejas jets. And if they are not delivered, what happens? Revenue recognition becomes a problem. Top line can be hampered. And I hope with this you have understood the first problem. Let's move on with the next point, which is budget disappointment. In this budget, Nirmala madam even didn't utter the word of defense in her budget speech, and which was obviously not liked by the investors who had invested, especially in defense stocks. But does that mean that a budgetary allocation was not even given to the defense sector? How can that be? But how will we understand? Simple, just visit websites like PIB. PIB, you want to see the screenshot? Have a look at this. PIB is basically Press Information Bureau. Here you can see that a record over 6.81 lakh crore rupees was allocated in Union Budget 25-26 for MOD's Ministry of Defense, an increase of 9.53% from current financial year. So, in simple words, was there an increase? Yes. For what? Ministry of Defense. So good, na? What is the problem? Acha, please understand, even markets and stocks work on sentiments. The moment Nirmala madam didn't talk about defense, people start believing, people start perceiving that maybe that much focus was not given to defense, and sentimentally we saw a fall. Okay, is the allocation of 9.53 crore good enough, and an increase of 9.53 crores, is it good or not? That can be debated though. But should we be focusing only on that, or should we dig down a little bit more deep? We should. Now we should understand how much out of this goes to army, how much goes to navy, how much to air force. And in air force also, we should specifically understand how much to aircraft and aero engines, because that is where HAL is mainly concerned, right? Now if you have a look at this, oh, such a detailed thing. Yes, this is actually the document which has been released by the government. I'm giving you a screenshot of this. If you feel that I'm a very studious person and I don't want to look only at this screenshot, I want to see the whole document. Okay, don't worry. I'll give the link of that document in the pinned comment and in the description box. Read it at your leisure time. You'll also gain a lot of knowledge through that document as well, right? As of now, let's check how much is the YOY increase for aircraft and aero engines. Line item number 30. We'll compare revised estimate of 2024-25 and we'll compare that with budgetary estimate of 25-26. Well, that has gone up from 46,591 crores to 48,614 crores. Now, if you were to calculate a YOY growth, that translates into barely 4%. Now, understand, the whole allocation for defense was around 9.5%, and for air aircraft and engine, or aircraft and aero engines, that stands at 4%. So again, does that add to the negative sentiment? Yes. So where is the pain point? Pain point is comparatively lower budgetary allocation to this space. I hope you have understood about pain point number 2. And now, ultimately, moving on to the final part of the video, what next? Well, if you ask me, is the budgetary allocation in the next budget important? Yes, no second thoughts on that. But I personally feel what is more important is the execution, is the deliveries of Tejas Mark 1A, because that is where the true pain point lies. Whatever we are saying that yes, maybe in the future, if private sector players are allowed, that is ifs and buts. If I'm talking about today, even, I mean, today, what's the main scenario? HAL is the primary supplier of India's military aircrafts, and if that be so, they have to ensure that they are meeting this sustainable demand which is coming from the Air Force. So, all in all, if you were to understand, if you were to analyze this stock, order book is not a big issue. The Q3 results were not a big issue. Budgetary allocation, okay, that should be checked. But the biggest issue that we understood through today's video is about the deliveries of Tejas Mark 1A jets. So that's what we should focus on. Keep on checking the news, keep on tracking the news, whether they are able to deliver such things in the future or not, because it's all about sentiments. The moment they start delivering these aircrafts on time, the sentiment will turn positive, and maybe the stock price could also be interesting. I hope you found a lot of value in today's video. If you did, please don't forget to smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.